And we're back. This is actually our first podcast ever, so we're back from nothingness, but we are back, our first podcast.
From nothingness.
Yes.
That's how your brain works, Ben.
So, Mike, are you good?
No.
Mike, the podcast started. You're supposed to do this before the podcast starts. The podcast has already started. Now people are going to click away.
I know, it's just, hold on, it's messing.
All right, let's restart the podcast.
No, you can't. Once you start it, you can't restart
Okay, everybody,
it. It's
welcome
already
to the
been started.
podcast. We're going to be talking.
We're starting.
This is our first ever podcast. We got to start with a
We don't know what we're doing. Yeah, you're right. Dude, so many people. We've probably had like lots of people, and then we just lost all our. Oh, well, this is going to be a good podcast, guys. Hopefully, just like everything we do, this is going to be phenomenal.
Should we set a timer for an hour? I don't want to.
No, we just talk until what we need to talk about's over, and then that's how you do. That's how you podcast, right?
What do we need to talk about?
Oh, yeah, we probably should have figured this out before starting our first podcast. We all have completely different audiences in this house. We could all kind of like talk about it, and that way, like, say someone's here for like the Reckless Ben YouTube, and they're like, "Oh, who's Brianna?" Maybe
it's Yay, Ben.
Yeah,
stop calling me Brianna.
I only know Brenda.
I only know Brenda too.
All right, I'm gonna leave this podcast.
So I am Ben Schneider, but on YouTube I play a guy as Reckless Ben, and I make really cool YouTube videos that don't get seen by many people because they get taken down like a week after I post them usually. But if you do get a chance to see my videos before they get taken down, some of them are pretty cool.
Not some of them. Okay, the thing with Ben Schneider is he's a genius. Ben is yet to make a video that isn't like the best video on YouTube.
Oh, thank you so much.
No, I mean that though, Ben. It's cool because I moved into here early around June, and like watching Ben make his YouTube videos, it's like everything is not perfect because that's not the right word, but it's like everything just works really, really well, and it's like really entertaining.
All right, I already lost you guys. What are we talking about here?
Okay,
so our roommate Brenda.
We're introducing.
Okay, I'm actually not gonna do this podcast if you call me Brenda one more time.
Oh,
can I ASMR it?
No.
I guess it's the Mike and Ben podcast now.
Okay. I guess I'll just jump in. I'm Mike Pinero. I do TikTok, and I'm trying to get out of it. I'm trying to expand. I got all my eggs in one basket. Put your headphones on.
Can you say
call me Brenda one more time? I'm not putting these.
I'm not even
on.
calling you Brenda. You're the one calling yourself Brenda now. You've said the word Brenda more than I've said Brenda. Brenda.
Oh no. Anyways, Mike, can you say 2 truths and a lie for?
2 truths and a lie.
I'm just kidding. We're not doing this. Okay. Anyways, yeah, this is Izzy's spot right here. Whenever she decides to come on,
She's got a lot of stage fright, so yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's Ye, who I don't really know what Ye does except hops on a line. And then Michael is a filmer, and he's really good.
I'm over this.
Ye, if you want to get in on the podcast, you have to speak. You're just sitting here silently.
Because you're introducing yourself, and then you're going, I love these guys because of this, and this. And then I didn't even get a chance to introduce myself. You keep calling Brenda.
Mike, she's going to leave if you keep this up, Mike. No, we're not doing
Ew!
Mike, we're not doing this, Mike.
Ew. It's so gross. Mike.
Oh.
Bruh.
I'm so sorry, Brianna. Okay.
Stop calling me Brianna.
Brianna, that's your name.
You guys, maybe we should just quit the podcast.
At this point,
Call me Yay.
I think we've called Brianna Brenda so many times now that
It's Yay.
Yay.
Okay. Do you want to be called Brenda,
This is
Brianna,
so
or
strange
Ye?
because
I
literally,
said Yay.
this is the first time I think you've ever gotten mad at me for calling you Brianna. I've called you Brianna my entire life.
I know.
And you've never gotten mad at me for it.
I'm not getting mad. It's just I think.
So
it's
now we call you by your last name. Is that it for me now? I have to only call you by your last name?
No, I think it's because every time.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button. Everyone, welcome to the podcast. Today, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to go 2 truths, 1 lie from everyone. Because
everyone hates this game. I brought that up ironically because of how terrible.
All right, guys,
that
let's
game is.
restart this.
we've made negative progress.
No, we're making good progress. See, they know who I am. They know who you are. And now we just need to know who Brianna is. We need to know who Ye is.
Okay, Brenda, who are... I'm so sorry. I keep saying Brenda non-ironically, and I can't think of a different name.
Wait, guys, we have a podcast to film.
Oh, there's Izzy. Izzy, come on. Hurry, come on the podcast. You guys, we have our special guest, Izzy, coming out now to the podcast.
Yeah, we have to
Welcome,
introduce
Izzy.
Yeah, wrong one. Okay, put on a pair of headphones, Izzy.
Sorry.
I don't like this anymore.
Yeah, Izzy.
Not fun.
This
This
is
is
fun.
not fun. Izzy, put on this one
This
here.
is fun. You're just getting stage fright. It's okay.
I'm not getting stage right. You guys keep calling me Brenda.
You're the only one who's reacting about something that is not true anymore. We've learned our lesson. We're done. Come on.
Okay, so this is Izzy from ZHC. Would you like to?
Yes, yes. I love my friends so much.
Are you
Sometimes I wish that they were eggs.
You wish I was an
could-
egg?
So I could crack them open and eat their insides.
Okay.
Is that all you have to say? That's it?
What?
Well,
Have
that
you thought of that before? or
that's
that
actually a
just come
pretty
up?
good representation of Izzy, I would say. If
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty dead on. Izzy, you explained yourself very well there. TBH.
Yay, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, my name is Yay. My what are you doing?
You get like stage fright. Look at
I'm
it.
not getting stage fright. You just stuck your entire mouth on through this thing as if you were.
You keep
just
doing
sucking.
some.
Hi, my name is Yay. I am a content creator. I create content on TikTok and Instagram right now, diving into the space of YouTube. But actually, guys, did you know this is my 1-year anniversary of moving to LA? Halloween day.
Yeah, so today
Ooh.
is actually Halloween. I don't know if we're
Yep.
going to post this today. We might post it in like 2 days or something. But today is Halloween. Yeah, you moved in Halloween day.
Yeah, and I was
last year.
still working in tech. I moved out here. I was working from that room over there. You can't see, but I'm pointing over there. And within
I
probably
remember,
like 6 months in, 5 months in, I quit and just went like full time.
I remember you
like,
saying,
adventure content and all that.
I'm going to live here for like 2 months.
Yeah,
And then I'm going to move back to San Francisco.
yeah.
And
the
have
Bay
I'm just going to be out here in LA for 2 months. I just graduated college. And then I'm going to move back and get a real job. But you didn't move back. You're
no.
still here.
I did get I had a real job. So remember I went on the road trip with you after I graduated. So basically I graduated 2018, went on like a 2 to 3 months road trip with Ben across the US, came back, just bummed around for a little bit, and then moved back up to the Bay eventually after this long crazy search for a job, got a job in tech, worked this job that was basically like 9 to 8 for like 8 months before I moved out. Like probably like almost a year before I moved out to LA. And then during the middle of quarantine, I was like, hey, if I'm going to work from home anyways, I might as well just move out to LA. And so Michael, our other roommate, he convinced me to move out here. And yeah, I was making content with you guys like right when I moved out here, and was just like freaking working 9 to 8 and like working on weekends, but still making crazy content with you guys. Like the first one was like
Just sick.
the flat earth thing.
Oh, yeah. It's almost the 1-year anniversary
Yeah.
of our Flat Earth video.
That was like one of the first things that I did when I was out here, and I was like,
That was
"It's
like your
crazy out here."
introduction to this whole group.
Yeah,
Because I was like, you were like, hey, you were actually working while you did that. That's why you couldn't come. That's why you just played the girlfriend, is
yeah,
because
exactly.
you were like, I was like, oh, we might use you like later in the night when you're off work. And you're like, oh, well, I can call in as like the girlfriend or something. I'm like, oh, sick.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was so cool. And I met Blake, and then got married to
I was like,
Blake. kissed
also,
Blake.
here's your first time meeting this guy. You have to like kiss him. And you're like, oh, okay. And then now you're like really good friends with them.
Yeah,
Blake's dope.
yeah. I remember like Brooks was one of the first people I actually
Blake
met
is
because he
dope.
pulled up with Mino. I was like, oh, these guys are famous. Like, I'm moving out to LA. It's like the first week, and like Brooks, like remember he like recorded some crazy video in my room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then I was like, wow, like this is LA.
These are LA. People
Yeah.
film videos here. And they're
Exactly.
cool. And everyone films
How-
videos
yeah.
together.
I have a question. How long do you two think you'll be in LA for? Do you have like a little time frame in your, like I'd say, I guess to start it off with, like I really like Laguna, but I always feel like I'll hit a point where like maybe I'll have multiple properties.
I don't know. I like to change
Mike.
up my life a lot.
Look at the lint I just found on my belly button. Everyone take a look. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, look at all that lint.
Like,
Anybody?
you just ask a question, then just wait for the question to it be answered. and
Clearly,
then
he
you bring
does
something else up.
ADHD content, if you can tell. All
Yeah.
right, sorry, continue, Ben.
I was just saying, I mean, I'm content living in LA right now. I love my life right now, being here and making videos, and it kind of feels like Phineas and Ferb almost. You wake up and it's like, what do I want to do today? And then I'm like, oh, this is what I want to do today. I want to take down this evil corporation, or I want to do this crazy stunt, and then we just do it. And then the cool thing about LA is you have like 30 people that are also like willing to do it with you. Like, I want to do this awesome stunt, and then you just have like 20 people that are like, oh, I'll help with this. I'll help with this. I can do this. And it's like, yes. And I'm so scared if I move anywhere else in the world, all my ideas are just going to go over people's heads, or be like, I'll pitch an idea to someone. They'll be like, oh, I can't do that. Like, why would you ever want to do that? Like, that's dangerous, or that's scary. And that's how I felt, at least in Ohio. And
I mean, you do some scary stuff for sure.
Yeah,
definitely things. I would say things out of the comfort zone for me, even when it won't even affect me. Like, I'm just like, whoa, Ben. But it's cool. It's a cool feeling.
Yeah, Ben is definitely like representative of like just crazy like life, like living, doing what you want to do. And like you introduced me to like so much of like so many of the people that I'm with now. And like you've introduced a lot of these people like to each other. And like I remember like just like going on that road trip with you. I was like, this is such a cool life. But I was like, okay, but I don't know if I'm gonna make money, blah blah blah. But like again, it's like not about that. It's about waking up every day and like being stoked, which is like us. Like we live in like this trashy little house right now.
Mike Panera, Brianna's talking.
Yeah,
I'm listening.
You have to give your respect to Brianna while she.
And I'm
she's gonna leave, Mike.
I'm affecting the
Ben.
levels.
She's almost left like 2 times this podcast.
This is the first 5
You can't just be making ASMR sounds over top of Brianna's voice. Otherwise, people are going to get like that little tingly feeling that ASMR gives you. And then be like, wait, I can't tell if this is Brianna's voice or if it's... Recently, we watched Red Light, Green Light ASMR Squid Games. The girl was going, red light, green light, green light, red light, red light, red light, green light, green light. Boom, you're shot. Boom, you're shot. Boom, boom, bang, bang. Red light, green light, green light, red light.
Squid Games.
Red light, green light.
Okay,
That's
so
the
this
only
is
ASMR video I've ever watched.
No. This is the thing. Okay, I get pinned down in this house by everyone in the house.
Okay, let's just all say I love you, so we all know that we love each other.
Okay, 3,
1,
2, 1.
I love
I
you.
love you guys.
Aw. Izzy just said it from the other room too.
Okay, Izzy, you're not working if you're able to respond to our podcast. You better get over here and do
Unless
whatever
Izzy's
you
on
do.
the microphone, we can't respond. We can't acknowledge. If Izzy has something to say, she can come sit down and say it into this microphone right here.
Yeah, her headphones are waiting for her.
Otherwise, she's just a ghost in the wind.
Podcast? How you guys feeling about this pod? I feel kind of awkward.
Really?
No,
Why?
this is fun.
It's fun. No, it's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's like kind of awkward because like I feel like when you're speaking, you're so on the spot that like you can hear yourself talking. You can hear like the way you go about things and like the way like just your commentary is on stuff, and it's like, whoa, that's what I sound like all the time.
I know. There's like a weird thing where people like hate the sound of their own voice because they're not used to it, and then when they hear the sound of their own voice, like what it actually sounds like, because like you get a little filter when you listen to your own voice in your head, and then when you actually hear like what you actually sound like to other people, people usually hate it.
Yeah, that's like
a weird
one of the things.
Science thing.
You know what's crazy? So this is like slightly off topic, but slightly not. But like content creation has like really like, I don't know if it's the same for you guys, but like really pushed me out of my comfort zone, and like hearing your own voice when you're editing your videos and like being confident in who you are and putting that content out, that has like really like boosted my confidence. Because like just like growing up, I was just like pretty shy, I was still extroverted for sure.
Dude, I was the exact same way. When I was first putting out videos, I couldn't talk to a camera.
Yeah.
I would have to say like one line to the camera, and it would take me like all day to say like a sentence.
Yeah.
I'd be like analyzing, like, I didn't say that sentence perfectly. I need to say it again. And I would like re-say it like 1,000 times. I'm like, I can't talk. Like, why?
Well,
like,
totally.
It's so strange.
It's interesting because I'm doing voiceovers right now. And that voiceovers are kind of awkward. They're cool. Like once you get that one line that you want to say and you like get it perfectly, you're like, okay, that was sick. Like, this is exactly what I wanted. But voiceovers are kind of awkward.
Yeah. The way I do my voiceovers, it's probably unconventional. I just lock myself up in my closet or something. Just like get fully in the zone. Just have a bunch, like probably like 2-hour video of just raw clips, just 2 hours. Like even like the really boring parts I keep in just because and then I just sit down, I just commentate it and like I try and experience it as if like I'm the hero of the story. If I'm showing this to someone that's never seen it and I just commentate over my life like it's the coolest thing I've ever done. And then you get random parts where like a bird flies over. I'm like, oh, look, a bird. And like sometimes those are like the funniest parts.
Yeah, I agree.
And then I go in, I take all the audio. I'm like, okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, what's like the funniest that like still makes sense, but it still like makes the audience go like, what the heck was that? And that's like kind of like how I edit my videos.
Yeah. Well, when I do voiceovers, I literally lock myself in my closet, like the small little closet. You guys have walked in, and I'm just like sitting inside my closet.
At first, now that I do voiceovers, I get it. But at first, when I saw you doing that, I was like, what is Ye doing in her I always see you. Just come out of the closet, Ye. Ben is a good psychopath. He does psychopathic things to help the world.
Like what?
Taking down Scientology.
That's a psychopath thing?
What psycho hears about a big corporation that hurts people and goes, oh, I'm going to go in with spy glasses and like get footage of all of it. And then you're like, oh, I want them to take me to the abuse room. It's like people don't think, like I don't sit there on the daily. I'm like, what am I going to do today? I got an idea. I'm going to go into Scientology and like try to catch them trying to kill me or something.
So I don't know. I think I might be wrong about this actually, but I'm pretty sure if you're a psychopath, that means you lack emotion. Maybe not lack emotion, but you have less emotion than other people. My whole thing with going into Scientology was actually I was so frustrated about the fact that people were giving up millions of dollars to believe in an alien that a science fiction writer wrote about, and it was like it's a science fiction writer. Like, why do you have to give millions of dollars to believe in this alien? And obviously they're doing bad things. Like, why? And then so you type in Scientology on YouTube and there's nothing on YouTube. And I'm like, well, I just want to know what goes on inside. It was like driving me crazy. I'm like, why do people do this? I'm like, you know what? If no one's gonna, I wasn't big on YouTube. I was getting like 200 views per video at the time. So I was like, I wasn't gonna like make a viral series in my opinion. It was just, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna be the one to find out the answer to this. If taking down evil organizations makes me a psychopath, then I enjoy being a psychopath.
Enjoy being.
What's one thing about the Scientology series that people don't know that you wish they got more? Like you obviously were getting thousands of comments. Was there anything that people were saying that were kind of missing the point?
I feel like we got it pretty good.
Is there
the biggest point that may have been like lightly brushed over was probably how the brainwashing works. That was pretty incredible. Just how they're able to like take advantage of your human brain. Like your human brain is like a computer that's always filtering out information. So what they're able to do is they're able to like kind of hack into that. They'll be like, okay, so the human brain can't like store every single thought. And they literally tell you that. They say you can't remember everything, but if you go back and you do remember something, it's real life because your brain actually does record everything. And so they take advantage of the fact that your brain's constantly filtering itself out. And then that's how they're able to put memories in your brain that don't actually happen. And so now people can remember hanging out with Xenu and stuff. And like, that's their alien that they worship. And
wait, quick break, really quick. I think our camera died.
Oh, shoot. That's the answer to that question. It's just the brainwashing. They're able to brainwash these people that they remember. They're like, yo, I literally remember hanging out with Xenu and stuff. I literally remember what I did in my past lives. And this is why Scientology is real, because they've literally have those memories in their brain. And Scientology's mastered that fact. It's pretty gnarly. Okay, we're going to try and set up this camera again. Okay, I reset up the camera, and hopefully it works. And you can see what I'm dealing with. This is the difference between YouTube and TikTok. These guys have been on their phones the whole time because TikTok gives you the attention span of 15 seconds. So, Brianna,
cute.
what's something what's something that you've been working on in life recently? Not a video or anything, not a TikTok or something you've been working on just in life.
Wow, I just feel put on the spot. That's a good question.
That's what you do.
No, that's a good question. Something I'm working on in life is like, I don't know. I guess I was talking about this like this morning. I do a lot of things like with other people, and like I feel very comfortable because I'm an extrovert.
Like what are your goals right now?
My goals.
'Cause that's something you're working on, right? You
For
always
sure,
have
for sure.
goals and you're working to get them accomplished, or maybe you're procrastinating on them. I don't know, but
Yeah, no,
you
no.
got something you gotta
That's
be wanting to get out of life right now.
Yeah. Actually, this is something that I've thought about a lot. So it's like, growing up, I always like wanted to, get a job and like do things like for my parents and like for my family, because they kind of. We can get into this another episode, but my mom and dad have kind of like the craziest story of like how they got to America and like worked like literally like 20 jobs once they got here. And so I'm just like super grateful that they were able to give me the life that I was able to have, and like that's kind of led me up to like my success and like where I am today. And so like everything I do is like for them, whether it was like working in tech, even now, financially and everything. But like something I'm really working on now is that the idea that throwing money at something financially isn't necessarily going to like solve the issue. Because like, my mom called me the other day. It was like, hey, I'm just kind of over working and, over the stuff that's going on in life right now. What are the chances? Like, I really, really want to go see like what she say, like Antelope Canyon in Arizona. And so I was like, okay, this is a hard thing. This is like a hard thing because like, I have to give up time to be able to do
we're
that.
podcasting.
So like giving those like experiences back to my parents is like, that's something I'm really, really working on right now. Cause like,
What's the next one you're gonna do?
I don't
Or is
know.
it? Are you not
It's a
allowed to
road
say
trip.
because she might see this podcast?
No, I'm like what I was saying when she called me. She wanted to go on a road trip, so I think I'm gonna go on like a month-long road trip with my mom. Actually,
Oh,
you were
that'll be
talking about
fun.
Moab the other day because
You're gonna
Thanksgiving.
bring your mom to GGBY.
I wanted to talk to you about that actually.
Oh, that'd be so sick. So there's this event called GGBY coming up for everyone that's watching it. It's basically the craziest slackline festival. Am I inaccurate for saying that?
No, that's pretty accurate.
It's they get
most
like
well-known, for
7
sure.
hammocks. Sorry, they get like 7 slack lines and they put them in like connect them together like 600 feet in the air into a giant hammock. They have like crazy people base jump. They have tons of high lines set up, like slack lines really high. They have like the world's biggest rope swing. I think they've made bigger rope swings, but it used to be the world's biggest rope swing. They do, and then it's just like crazy partying. It's like Burning Man meets Nitro Circus.
Yeah,
kind of.
people just like jump off things with like parachutes on.
And this year, because
all
of
the time.
coronavirus, they canceled it. But the people were like, "Oh, we don't want it to be canceled, so we're going to show up anyway." So now you can just show up for free. And I probably shouldn't be advertising. No one's going to watch this podcast. So if they watch it, then you get a little event of what's going to be a little secret of what's going to be really cool this year. But
During
it's a free event.
Thanksgiving week.
It's during Thanksgiving. Dude, when I went in 2016, it was the coolest thing. Everyone just like sits. It's like all these like hippies that just sit around this like giant circle, and everyone brings their own food. And you take like one bite and you pass it to the person next to you, and then you take one bite from their person's
Sounds
food.
not COVID
And then
safe.
you pass it to
How
the
do
person
you
next to
jump on this hammock without falling?
Yeah, that was before COVID. How you jump on the hammock without falling? Well,
Could I do it, or do you have to slackline to it?
you have to slackline to
Or
it.
you can roll out.
Or
to
you
it.
can.
I almost died there. Sorry, that changed the. That's like that was the closest I've been to death ever was in Moab at the fruit bowl. So
Really?
it's like kind of had. This,
Was it
like,
when
crazy.
you did your rope swing? And,
Yeah.
Oh, you said you ascended up a really sketchy way.
I straight up ascended. So ascending is basically climbing up this rope without like any rock or anything. You're just going up a rope, right, with the ladders on your feet. And so I was exhausted first of all because I had to go up 200 to 300 feet and then change rope, which I had no idea how to use any of the gear. I got like a 15-minute crash
That's
course
a
by the guy.
gnarly.
Yeah,
That's like
it's
200 pull-ups
yeah.
you have to do.
Yeah, and so I had to do that, and like
Like
I
if
was
you're
saying,
climbing up 200 feet, that's literally 200 pull-ups.
yep. And there's like a little piece that like slipped, so the gree it slipped, and I dropped probably 2 feet, and I like in that second I was like, oh, I'm dead. Like within that 2 feet, and someone from above was like, what just happened? What was that? And like if someone from the top sees that happen, that's not good because that means you dropped a good amount.
Were you doing it in an incorrect way, or were you
I don't know. I don't know what happened. It just like didn't
'Cause
engage.
Typically,
Probably.
when you ascend, you're always supposed to have I don't know. The way I've done it, it runs through a Grieger.
Like the Grigri slip.
The Grigri
slipped. Yeah.
That's supposed
And
to be a
what- for
non-slip
peop-
device.
Yeah.
For people
it
who
was
don't
the
know what the
whalers using-
Grigri slip is, what is a Grigri slip?
So Grigri is a vice that allows rope to go through it one way, but not another way. And then there's a lever that
Yeah.
allows it to slip. Maybe you
I
accidentally
don't
pulled the
know.
lever.
I don't know. But
It's a
that's
pretty
like
safe
that's holding
device.
your life. That's like holding your life. But
What's-
yeah, it was scary. And so after that happened, I still had to climb up another like 150 feet. And like at that point, like I was wearing like chacos. My hands were like ripping up. Like I was super thirsty, and it got dark while I was out there. And so someone literally had to
wow.
like hand down a lamp, like a headlamp, like with a string all the way down there, and I had to pick it up and put it on my forehead. And like literally, finally, after 3 hours, rolled over the ledge. Like they had to like give me a hand and like pull me over at that like last like couple inches.
Was it worth
And
it?
it was so worth it, yeah. And I got up there, and the climbers who had set up the line like couldn't like the rope swing couldn't leave because I had stalled them for so long. And so what they ended up doing was just like going to some random corner of like this massive canyon and setting off fireworks. Like literally the second I got off, it was the most magical feeling ever. And I got back there, and everybody just started clapping back to the campsite.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was absolutely insane.
Yeah. Just like that. They were
Yeah.
clapping like that.
Yeah, it was like the most magical moment of my life.
I'm really jealous. The last time I was there with the rope swing, like that rope swing looks
It's
just looking off the edge, you look over the ledge and your stomach like kind of feels nauseous just because of how
yeah.
and
You
I
can't.
can't even imagine jumping off that,
Yeah.
but
Did you
I don't
have
know.
you not jumped off the rope swing before?
I haven't because last time I was there with the rope swing,
GGBY.
my neck, I was there 2 months
Oh.
after I broke my neck, and it was like, yeah, I could just paralyze myself if I do this rope swing,
Yeah.
and then also getting back up. And I did think about doing it. I almost did it, but then I was like, yeah,
It's not worth it.
like rope swing is pretty cool, but I don't think it's as cool as being is not being paralyzed the rest of my life is cool. Like that's pretty cool too, to not be paralyzed.
yeah.
So I did not do the rope swing, and every single time I've been back to that area, it's never been set up again.
Maybe GGBY.
I know we
And I
got
could throw
to
my
find a
mom off,
cool
too.
way to get off the rope swing. I've thought about so many ways to do that rope swing. Like we build like a Nitro Circus mega ramp, have
Yeah.
like skates on, and then we like go down this huge like Nitro Circus ramp, and then like you do like quintuple backflip, and then into
should-
like the world's biggest rope swing. I think that'd be super
we should
gnarly.
all go do that this year.
Yeah, we
I
should.
wanna-
To
I wanna-
GGBY.
Dude, I think I invited Brandon Buckingham to GGBY this year.
He's probably gonna go.
I know he's gonna have so much fun there.
So the main question was also, do you think it's gonna be weird to bring my mom?
Of course it'll be weird, but that's why it's fun.
Okay, because it
You're
is
getting
like
her out of her comfort zone.
there's a
She's
lot-
gonna love it.
a lot of people consuming alcohol and drugs there.
And like weird orgy stuff.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to drink alcohol or
I wonder
do
if it's gonna-
drugs.
yeah, I
I
know-
didn't do
I know
drugs
that,
when
but-
I went my first time. I just had fun.
Yeah, I know, but I wonder if it's gonna be weird that like, you know.
How do
It's
they
just
make
an
it weird?
interesting
I
environment.
didn't think it.
I'm
Okay,
Would
when
you bring your parents there?
maybe? I don't know. I mean, I was super weirded out my first time. I was like, these guys are all hippies doing Nitro Circus stuff. This is weird, but that was like why I got so attracted to it, is because I was like, this is so different than what I'm used to. Like, I think that's what humans crave, is like a new experience, and this will be a new experience for your mom. You know?
My mom's also never like camped out or anything. Like she doesn't do that. So I'm like, that's like a big commitment.
Well, it's how willing is she to get out of her comfort
well.
zone? I
Here's
guess.
Yeah,
here's
for
the
sure,
win.
for
Here's
sure.
the win-win situation of it. Is it can't be a bad experience. If something becomes
Yeah,
too bad,
GGBY
enough-
I don't know if someone's
No, no,
acid
I'll
tripping
say-
and
Oh,
if
yeah.
walking up to my mom and freaking
if
out.
something becomes too bad of a thing, then it becomes a great memory. Like I feel like every memory that went really, if it went really good, it was a great memory. If it went really weird and bad, then it was like, wow, remember that really? Like it's one of those things where in the moment it sucks, and then you laugh about it later.
Yeah,
So-
the cool thing about GGBY though too is the people are so loving there, and it's
Yeah.
it's like Burning Man vibes, where everyone's just, oh, I love you. We're all what they all do. Like you're right, they all do the psychedelic drugs, and they're all like, everyone is one. We are all one. Everyone is peace, love, and it's kind of cool to be around that. I mean, maybe if you're around that every day, it starts to get a little like, but she'll have
Alright,
fun for a
maybe
weekend.
we'll do it for a weekend. Yeah, maybe not a whole week.
Oh, I would never be there for a whole
How-
week. That would be intense.
I'm
you just do
curious.
like 2 days, 2 days.
Yeah,
3
like
days?
maybe 3 days.
So it's like a music festival, basically.
I'm curious. Do people ever fall off or like die? Like, how do people take drugs
That's the
drink
thing
and all
is-
that without dying?
That when I went last year, or I think I went in 2016, so it's been a while. But the last time I was there, that was the number one talk of like, how hasn't someone died yet? Because when you see that festival, you would think that like there would be lots and lots of deaths, but yeah, nobody's died. People that show up are very responsible. They know what they're getting themselves into, and they do everything they can to ensure
I just
safety.
talk about like when it comes to like drinking and drugs and stuff. Like I imagine like acid could easily distort your reality to the point where you're like on the edge of a cliff. Mix that with alcohol, and now you're just like a time bomb to death.
I also think another thing that really helps is the community of GGBY is that they're all like looking out for each other.
That's cool.
And it's like, it does kind of feel like one big family when you're there. It's like everyone's like looking out for each other. Like, oh, this person's walking over towards the cliffs. Maybe we should go save them, you know? And that's kind of the mentality of the whole thing there is
I've actually
we're all
never been,
together.
so-
And
So
Excited.
I want to derail really quick because I have a very curious thought. What do you all think is like the number one thing you talk about in this house that you need to cut back? Like, do any of you feel like you talk about something way too much in this house that you're like? Because lately I've been thinking about like my words and stuff. I know I just met with David about we're working on a project with like creators and stuff, and I was like derailing the conversation, thinking about the future, and like that's one thing I've been working on is just being in the moment, being present, and like with that comes to like bringing things up that don't fit into the conversation. I've always kind of tried to do it for humor, like say things to derail the conversation, but sometimes it doesn't go humorous. It's more like annoying. But like, do you think you talk about something way too much in the house? Potentially. Anyone?
I don't know. Do you think I talk about things way too much?
Well, I don't know. That's why it's for you to think about. Like, does Ben Schneider ever talk about, oh, this?
I feel like I try and switch it up as much as possible. I feel like one day I'm taking down an evil company. The next day I'm doing an amazing, awesome stunt. The next day I'm doing a crazy prank. The next day I'm throwing an insane party. The next day I'm editing. The next day I'm going to the beach. The next day, I don't know. I try and do literally something different every single day. But
What about you, Ye?
I don't know. I've been traveling a lot recently, so I mean, I've been gone for like 2 months. I just got back like a week ago fully.
you've been gone for a while.
Yeah, I've been gone for a while, and if I go do this road trip with my mom, I'll be gone for another month or so.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
You should just rent out your room. You should just Airbnb your room.
No.
Then we could get fun guests in here and do like take them on our crazy adventures, force them to climb bridges with us, and
I'd be too jealous.
like, hey, you're the new Airbnb guy. Well, this is what we're doing tonight. Dude, we should start couch surfing our house. Actually, we shouldn't because we don't have an extra room. We have no more room in this house. But every once in a while, if maybe we should get on couch surfing. You find some interesting people on couch surfing.
We should just go couch surf at other people's places. Remember when we like couch surfed for those people in Florida?
Well, I'm saying we could invite couch surfers to stay with us.
Or
and
we
then
could
it's
all
like,
just go
you
couch
can only
surf.
stay with us because there's a lot of people in LA looking for a place to stay for a night. It's like you can only stay with us if you go on this insane adventure we have planned.
pretty
And we
awesome,
just
yeah.
take them on like, I mean, obviously it'll be good. Like it'll be a good adventure, and it'll
Yeah.
hopefully be something that they can like remember the rest of their lives in a positive way.
good.
But
That's a good like.
that could be like an
Series.
endless series. You could
That's
do infinite
that's
videos
literally
with
an
that.
endless series. I mean, we should
We
do
took
that.
a couch surfer. We made a couch surfer do what? And this is the clickbait. You'll never believe what we made this couch surfer
That's a
do.
whole series right there on YouTube series.
What
we
are
should just
some-
create that. Let's someone write that down.
I've got a couple YouTube.
Ben, are you gonna remember that? Can you write that down?
I
on
remember
the,
everything.
Can you write it down on the board behind you though?
I will after the podcast. I
Okay.
remember everything.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't remember everything. That's a lie. But I try. I feel like I have a good memory.
You don't remember that many things.
I have a few ideas that I want to do on YouTube, and a part of me just thinks I should just do them all, like whenever the opportunity pops up. Because I do think I try to like, I think my issue, I want to do one thing, and I want to be known for that one guy. But on YouTube, I feel like it's more of like you do it for fun, and then it blows up because you're having fun.
I think that's exactly right. I think, yeah, I mean, if you, I say narrow it down to 3 ideas. Be like, what are the 3 ideas I can do next week?
Yeah.
And then all your other ideas, just they're ideas that are in your notebook or whatever.
Well,
and
I feel like a lot of the ideas I think about have like not a lot of money, but like money helps, you know. Like right now, like the way I kind of think about it is like, you know, spending 200 today for one video or like spending 300 for one video. I feel like you want to try to match it with like how good is the idea really? Like, is it worth spending the money? And
Yeah.
and the ideas, it's more of like, I really do like the ideas, but I don't think they're like bomber ideas. So my take on it is like maybe make a little bit of money first.
So here's some good advice for that. I would say, I think to really judge like whether a $200 idea is going to make you $200 back, first you need to experiment with like a $10 idea, because it's so much easier. Like if I can have $10 and make $20 off this idea, you know, like I spent $10 on this idea, but I made $20 back. Okay, now let's up the scale. Let's do something like maybe it doesn't work. And you're like, okay, maybe I should never do that type of joke again. But now say you spend $10 and you make $30 back on the idea. You're like, wow, that was a really funny joke. I can make a similar joke, but spend $50 on it this time, you know, and I should make $150 back. And
I'm curious, how many
that's a
how many videos did you post until the Scientology video blew up, like the series?
so I never actually had, that was the
And
first.
for how many months?
That was the first video I did for YouTube, if that makes sense. So I've done like slackline videos where I just like, oh, here's my slackline tricks I've learned. Like, here's my progression in slacklining. But it's never like, it was never for YouTube. It was just for me. It was like, I just want to make, like, I just want to see, I want to track my progress in slacklining. Or I went to an abandoned Six Flags. I'm like, oh, I want to climb these roller coasters. Oh, let's put this on YouTube so it doesn't ever delete, you know, like I never expected for people to like watch those videos. I mean, maybe like there would be some slackliner out there someday that would be like, oh, I want to watch these, but maybe I did like a prank too, just for like fun. Cause I was like, oh, I'm in LA. I want to meet some pranksters. And so maybe if I do pranks, I can become friends with these guys, but it was always just like for me. And then, I mean, Scientology was for me also. It was like, I'm just going to go in, but I did it in a format where like you can watch it and like be entertained, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted people to like enjoy it, but at the same time, it was like I was just trying to figure out the answer of why do people go into this building, and it was really like that's what drove me. And like until like the 5th episode came out, they all had like 200 views on them, and I was getting nothing. But we were like, yeah, we're exposing Scientology. This is so sick. Only 200 people are watching it, but like. In our eyes, it was like 200 people saw what we did. That's awesome, you know? And
so when the first vid blew up, were you guys just like, holy crap? Was that just like instant like gratitude and happiness? Or was it more like, whoa, let's really start running with this?
It was definitely cool, but nothing in comparison to like what we felt when we were like, yeah, we were exposing Scientology and we get 200 people to watch us. Like that's the true happiness feeling. And I mean, it is, I mean, I'm not going to say it's bad at all. I mean, it definitely is cool when like your video goes viral, but that's not the end goal for me at all, is to go viral. It's always just to do the coolest thing and for me to be happiest with myself.
Okay, so jumping off of that, what brings you what brings you happiness from like your videos? What's that one thing that you're like, okay, if I can show my content out to someone else.
All answer that question too.
Yeah,
Let's start with
exactly.
you and then you
If I can show my content to someone, what is it that you want to get out of it? And like, what is it like? What are those comments and what are those like messages that you get that you're like, this makes everything so worth it?
For me,
Yeah.
I don't even think it's about showing it to other people. For me, it's just about being happy with what it's like my YouTube channel is almost like my journal, I guess. That makes sense.
Sure.
So it's like most people don't even show their journals to other people. So mine's just like a public journal, but it's just, I just want to be happy with my life. And I want to look back on I'm always rewatching my YouTube videos. And sometimes I feel like a narcissist or whatever. I'm like, oh, I'm obsessed with myself, but I don't see it like that. I think of it as like my journal almost. And it's like, this is like, I make these videos so I can like watch them back later and be like, wow, I like really accomplished something awesome. And like, I had a crazy goal that no one believed in. I was able to accomplish it. And
Yeah.
That's the whole goal for me. But
Yeah, I mean,
it's been that so far.
What's yours? I'd be curious what yours is.
yeah, mine's is, I mean,
We're in the same department.
same thing. I'm like really, really stoked on, being able to watch those videos because like, it's like a journal. Sometimes I forget like all the cool things that I've done, and looking back, I'm like super stoked on it. But it's like the idea that I can make content with my friends and have fun, but also it's like, it makes me so happy to put out content and like get comments and like get messages of people. People send me literally paragraphs sometimes, and it's so crazy to read. Where I'm like, they're like, "Hey, like, you know, I just had such a bad day. You know, someone like literally someone's messaged me. My brother died this week, but like watching your content makes me so happy, and like made it that much easier, and like you've really inspired me to get outside of my comfort zone." Kind of like the gist of like, you inspired me to get outside and go do things. Now I really want to go do things. Like, this is awesome. And so those kind of comments are like, you know, what's keeping me doing all this stuff, like aside from having fun, because that's freaking awesome too. But like, to, you know, to think of the idea that I can put out content that will hopefully inspire other people to do the same things as us, or, you know, go and create an awesome life for themselves. And it's not just about, you know, working your life away and like sitting there at a 9 to 8 job, whatever, and just doing that. Like, I think that makes me so stoked to continue doing more. And like, that's why I want people to see my content. And like, that's one of the coolest things for sure. Is like, yeah, getting like compliments and hearing that, like, you know, my content is actually doing something for someone.
So you read all the comments on your TikToks?
No, I don't read all the comments. No. But I do read some of the messages that come in, especially if I see it's like
Talking about like DMs.
like, yeah, DMs, like where there'll be like paragraphs sometimes, or like, you know, like I can't respond to all of them. It just takes a lot of time. But like when I do see those ones that like stand out, or like, you know, bigger messages, I like sometimes I do take the time to like read and respond back to people, because I think that's like, hey, if they're taking the time to like write you something like that, you know, you've probably made an impact on their life, and so like you have to give them your time of day as well, you know, because those are the people that are allowing you to do the things that you do, right? Like brand deals, like yeah, those bring you money, but like if you know, we say it's not all about followers, and it's not, but that's also what allows us to do the things that we do. Those people, you know, that number of people that support you.
Yeah, I think about that all the time. Of like, I'll create something I'm so happy with. I'm like, this is amazing, and then nobody watches it, and it's like, and then I see people creating fluff, and it's like they get so much money off of it, and it's like, it makes me want to create fluff, so that way I can get money to do what I actually want to do. But then it's like, I know once that happens, I'm gonna get money to create more fluff, and it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
And it's this crazy cycle I always think about, and it's one of the hardest things for me.
I think for you, Ben, just like commenting on that, like, I think you should continue making the stuff that you want to make. And like, it's just like a matter of time before like people recognize, like, people know you, right? Like people know you.
I feel like someone like Iraq is a good person to like, because I think what Iraq does is
Excuse me, Mike, you just interrupted me.
Okay, so I don't know.
What were you saying? What you said, Eric's a good example.
I feel like Iraq is the type of person that is kind of like you, but he takes his editing and a lot of his production to another level. I don't know how you feel about production, all that stuff, but I feel like production can definitely play a part. At least right now, it's like on TikTok, all my videos were like no production. Like when I say production, I don't mean like good. I mean, I do mean good cameras and stuff, but like not with like TikTok. It's more of like, you know, clean audio, and like making sure like when I'm filming, I got good lighting, and making sure
so I actually
in the right place.
I actually tried experimenting with that. Like halfway through the Scientology series, we upped our production so much, and a direct result of that was the content became worse, I think, because it's, we have these super sick cameras, we have this awesome lighting. Now it looks like a TV show. It looks like
but look at Iraq. Like Iraq's videos,
yeah, he
don't
does
feel
do
like a TV
really good.
show.
Yeah, but
I think it's okay
he
to
also
look at.
Makes it very authentic though, which I think.
Like look at Yes Theory. Like
Yes
there's
I haven't watched them in a while, but
there's a way to go about it production wise that just makes everything a little cleaner.
You might be right.
Like I feel like I do feel like actually okay, now that I think about it, maybe there is. I feel like you don't really do this in your videos though. You somehow make it work, but like I think there is a time and place to use like less quality stuff. You know, when it comes to spyglasses, that's hilarious how the watch is like you have this watch filming, you know, but
I don't know. I've just always liked I don't know. I think I enjoy my content when it's like filmed on an iPhone, because then it's like, I like the whole TBS series I filmed on my iPhone, where I'm like taking down TBS. They're like, we're gonna sue you, and I'm like, I'm gonna sue you guys back, and we're like cross suing each other for millions of dollars, and I'm like graffitiing their like terrorizing their billboard, and all filmed with an iPhone.
All I say is it's an interesting thought to think about because like yes, they're doing really good. Iraq's doing really good, and you have crazy ideas. You're doing crazy ideas every day. Just like what would happen if you took the production level, but not even the production level, the cleanness level. You know, maybe getting some other eyes on it of people that edit. Maybe you're friends with Eric kind of. Why don't you just hit him up and just like I don't know. I just he's probably busy.
Hey Eric, I know you're like the busiest YouTuber ever. You want to edit? You want to spend like 50 hours editing this video for me? Just really quick?
No. That's not what I mean. I just mean like shooting people your videos and just being like, hey, do you think this is good? Like, I don't know. I just say that because that's what I'm doing for my account right now. TikTok and YouTube are way different, and like YouTube is like a much sturdier. But I don't know. As I say that, TikTok's doing
TikTok's doing pretty good.
Brands are freaking all over TikTok, and
yeah,
it's kind of sad.
So there's the thing.
Also, I never got to answer my thing.
Yeah,
what's the question again?
What gives you happiness when you create content? Like, what's your? Why do you create content?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why do you create content?
I don't know. I think right now I'm at a weird stage where I'm 20. My friends are in college, and I just created content because I didn't want to be in college. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't want to become like I didn't want to do like a normal job that I would have been like super bored at because I already worked a job in high school. I was like, okay, that sucked. I don't want to do that again. So I started.
The TikTok algorithm hooked you?
Well, TikTok. I said this since the first day. TikTok is the Uber driver to my destination, and right now I'd say that Uber is getting pretty freaking close to the destination. And I say that in the sense of like, I don't really know what I want. I don't really know what makes me happy within my content. All I know is like one thing that really makes me happy that I have been doing a lot lately that pays off every time is like keeping mental health in check, like meditating, all this stuff, but also gifting people like opportunities to like do cool events together. And that's why I think it's so fun that me and you are talking about this creator thing. Because for me, it gives me the opportunity to bring people together. And like, you know, if we could give away a bike, like if let's say the Avonton was like, oh.
Yeah, also what Mike's talking about right now, we have to keep it super secretive right now. But we're working on this thing.
Okay, wait, we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, well, they're going to be wondering. They're going to be like, what is this? So we should probably let them know.
I think we're working on
a thing. We're working on a thing. That's the best way to describe it. It's a thing, and hopefully it's a really cool thing.
And the one thing about this thing is
that it's going to be super awesome.
It's the best thing out of all the other things.
It's going to be amazing.
No, but what you were saying about the comments, I was getting like my views at the when I looked at TikTok as like I was having fun, my views were skyrocketing. And then my views started going down because more people started getting on the app, and like Charlie did me, all those people started doing like dance stuff and like comedy creators where we're all like, whoa, our videos aren't really being pushed as much as they used to. And then, but when there was a time where I remember just getting tons of comments from people like, you changed my life, like all this thing, like you helped me so much. And
yeah, it's super rewarding.
Yeah, but the thing with me is I was getting a lot of them, and after a while, like I started getting like numb to them. And like, I don't know.
Now when you don't get them, you're like, you have a withdrawal.
Well, no, because a part of me was like, what the reason like I wasn't getting as much satisfaction with them anymore is because like I wasn't able to comment back in a sweet way that I wanted to. Like I was thinking about it, I was like, I used to go on Omegle for like 2-3 hours at night, and I would just talk to people and ask them how they're doing and like do mental checks with people. And like I helped a lot of people. I had a lot of those people. So that was
your community service. The way you made yourself feel good. I'm gonna go on Omegle for 2 hours and help 2 hours worth of people tonight.
I kid you not. There were some people that I helped on there that DM'd me. No, I'm kid you not. I'm gonna say this. There were some people that I met on there that I gave my spiel on like what happiness is to me and like what I'm trying to figure out all this stuff and like where I am. And I get those DMs later, like a week, 2 weeks later, like, hey, I stopped smoking weed completely. I stopped doing this, and those comments, those are fucking satisfying. Cause I making TikToks. Oh no, the camera died.
Oh no! All right, wait, do we have a time? Like, do we have a set period of time? I'm ready to call it.
Well, this has been Mike, Ben, and Brianna,
and Yay,
and Yay. There's
Brenda.
Stop it.
Well, that was a good outro.
Seriously, stop.